facing and countersink. We did both ends. Okay, the next thing is we're going to take this, and now we have to drill a hole in there. And since we have a countersink in there, this will make it that much easier. Look at that, nice facing, nice countersink, the aluminum shines. We're going to just drill one side. So we just pick one side out, and we're going to come over here. And I take my chuck key. I open up the 3-jaw universal chuck, and I take and put the material in, the aluminum in, and I go to 2. Okay, again, put the chuck key back. I want to have 800 revolutions per minute, so 800 is A3. I'm switching to A3. Okay. And then I want to take this out because I want to put, this is the letter Q. It's in our, so that's our setup right here. We got my material right here. I want to drill a hole. I got my drill bit. I got my Jacobs chuck. I got my tailstock. I'm going to have my wheel here. I want to be able to turn. I don't want this lever locked. I want that lever unlocked. The little one, the big one, we're going to move this up a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to move it up to where it's almost ready to touch, and then I lock it down. And I can tap on it. That's not going to hurt anything, but I do have it set at 1.5 inches. And to make it safe, take this tool off the tool post. So how do we do that? We loosen this up, okay, and I lift up the tool, all right, and I can move this out of the way, the handle. All right, to set this up, we're going to take and we're going to wind this back in below about 1 inch, okay, and what I want you to see is I want you to see right down here, okay. This is my 1 inch. You can see as my spindle comes out, now my chuck is tight, and I come out to where it goes 1.5 inches. You see that? So if I wind out past it, and I'm hitting right now. But if I wind out past it, there it is 1.5. So I come back and I put it right at 1.5. And now I'm ready to go and drill. Take a look at that right there. I'm ready to come on here and I'm going to start drilling in here. It goes over and up. All right. That's cutting. Okay. I'm at 2.5 inches. I come out, I clean out the flutes of the drill. Just watch your fingers right around anything that's turning. Long hair, loose clothing, jewelry. I can see now that I'm at 2.5. Almost there. I'm still applying a little bit of cutting fluid. Alright, I'm coming up on, you can take a look right here, there's 2.5, I'm almost at 3. Alright, there we go. Clean out the flute on the drill bit. Alright, go back in. There's a steady speed of drill of turning the wheel. I just don't want to go real hard. I just want to go just enough speed. Right there you go. There's 3 inches. All right. So we went from 1.5 to 3. Wind this back. Keep brushing all those parts off. All the fouling. this up, slide this back out of the way, open the hood, take the chuck key, okay. I loosen it up, I take a look. Down on the side there's some foulings down there. We'll get those foulings out. We can take and tap. All right, if they don't come out, we'll do a little compress there. You can see what a nice drilling that does. All right, so into the three jaw universal chuck on the lathe. Held this and were able to use our Jacobson chuck and use our drill bit, Q drill bit. Okay, when you can't get all the foulings out, you can take and use the little compressed air down below the bench. We get the hose, the air hose out, it's compressed air. We pull straight down, right below the wheel. We wait for a click. When we hear the click, you stop and release. And sometimes, 9 times out of 10, it's going to catch. Now this is my coupling. And these are my 2 couplings. I got to match them up. They just don't slide together. They're not going to do anything. So what I got to do is I got to be able to pull this skirt back. You see this little outside rim? I got to pull that little rim back. And then I got to force this part of the air gun down inside there. And once I force that in there, I can release. Now it's there. Same way, if I just try to go like this, it may pop out like that. Again, I gotta push in and I gotta release. Sometimes if I just push in, it's easy to release and the piece comes out. My air tools, air couplings, my air hose, my air gun, okay, is all good. A lot of people go like this here, they start unscrewing this. They think it's screwed on there. But really what it is this little ring right here. There's ball bearings down inside there, a little piece of a metal clip that grabs this. And obviously then it breaks through, and I got 100 pounds, about 85, 90 pounds of pressure right here waiting to come out. So again, and another little trick is if you push in, it'll snap in too. You notice how I did that? If I just push in, it clicks and it holds it on there. All right? So that's how we do that. So hopefully you got a little pneumatic compressed air. Now, we don't like to go like blow and have it blow straight back into my eyes. But if I go down inside here below the bench, I don't want to be blowing it to where I'm looking down inside. I just want to angle it. Okay. And now if we take a good look inside there, all right, there's a nice, shiny looking, let's see if I can get a nice picture of it. There it is there. And it's kind of hard to see down inside of it. That is cleaned out. I can see with my, the camera isn't doing a good job. Now, to get this rolled back up, try not to have it around your feet. You just pull straight down. You hear that little click? Then you just release it. You keep your hand on it. You don't let it go zinging up into the air real fast. You feed it up there nice and slow. And you just let it go up and let it hit that ring. And it's stopped. Okay? Okay, this is now the tap and die. We're going to tap some holes or some threads down inside the hole. This is the piece we just got done drilling. This right here is a tool. It's called the T-handle. All right, this T-handle holds. Now we're back. We're going to do the tap and die. We're going to tap this. That's the hole we drilled out, and we use Q because this is our tap. Right here, and our tap is labeled 3/8/24, and sometimes there's information on here, but this one here doesn't look like there's any information, and so we're gonna just take that. Now you notice there's a square drive. We have a round going into a square drive, and you notice in this T-handle, the T-handle has two little V's cut out of it, and so that's gonna be my tap is gonna go down inside there, and I'm gonna tighten up the one handle, and it's gonna hold it so it doesn't fall out. So that's what we want it to do. We want it to fit right in there. Some people think it actually goes down past it. Okay, if you notice it's down past it, but then when they start, since there's no surface, is unfinished, that's the way I buy it, we can put that in the vise and they can damage that because we're going to go back and machine it down. So clamp it in the vise. All right. Now I got some liquid wrench. I ran out of cutting fluid, but I can use some cutting fluid there too. All right. There's a little bit of cutting fluid left down inside here. We can put a little cutting fluid in there. We can put some cutting fluid on our tap, which is a good idea. Okay. And on the tap, it actually has a taper on the end so that it can get started. So I got to take and push straight down, turn clockwise until it starts catching. You can feel that. All right, I don't need a chair underneath me. I just need to have it so that I can get that going nice and straight. All right, so this is really easy to do because we drilled it with the right drill size. My tap size was 3/8 24, so if I drilled it with a Q, I'm not here struggling. If you're really struggling on the tap. So I got to take and push straight down, turn clockwise until it starts catching. You can feel that. All right, I don't need a chair underneath me. I just need to have it so that I can get that going nice and straight. All right, so this is really easy to do because we drilled it with the right drill size. My tap size was 3/8 24, so if I drilled it with a Q, I'm not here struggling. If you're really struggling on the tap, you probably drilled it too small. All right, the tap, you probably drilled it too small. All right, so I want the action of cut and release, and I just keep going forwards and backwards. And what happens is these little slivers of aluminum get down inside the flute, and then they drop down to the bottom of the hole. We're doing a blind hole, so the blind hole will build up with filings, and we don't want this to go clockwise. You don't want to, and then if the filings build up in the bottom, you can actually put pressure against that tap and break the tap. We don't want to break the tap. So you got to do this action. And we go down about halfway. Okay, halfway. And again, I'm going back and forth. I want to, even if I come up a little bit, I kind of hold it, and then I go back down. You know, the aluminum really makes it easy to cut. And I'm almost there. I am almost at halfway. All right. And now I wound it up. I'm going to come back out of there, and I'm going to dump out the filings. Okay, so here we go. We're going to come up, and I got to put my hand underneath here so it doesn't right there. You can see there how there's a lot of filings on there. Well, we have this brush, and the brush you can just take it and just clean out the filings. That's a wire brush. We also have our one with the cutting fluid on it. Okay. So we can take that and brush off the tap, set that right here. I can take this, set this over on the bench, flop over, and you drop these taps. Now you can see right there, you can see there how there's a lot of filings on there. Well, we have this brush, and the brush you can just take it and just clean out the filings. That's a wire brush. We also have our one with the cutting fluid on it, okay? So we can take that and brush off the tap, set that right here. I can take this, set this over on the bench, and then now I can take this. You can see all those little filings came out of there. All right, and I want to take them and really just take it, tap as much as you can. Look down inside there. There is no other filings in there, so I'm in good shape. On the edge, it will take and force some fluid down inside. Now look how nice that is. I just got it started. You carefully get it started, then after you get it started, you can rotate it, and again, my action is going to be forwards and backwards. And again, I can tighten that down. And I want to go down as far as I possibly can, maybe another 1/4 of an inch. Again, it's real nice and easy right now because we drilled it with the right size, and the taps are high-speed steel. All right, and those high-speed steel go real easy into aluminum. If you feel like it's really hard to do it, you should stop. If this gets like, you should stop and wind it back and clean it out and check it out. You might be hitting the bottom. All right, we did go 1.5 inches down. The tap is about 1 3/8 inches, so that gives me a little bit of space. All right, so I'm going down. I'm almost to the tap is almost all the way in, and it's still feeling good. So my 1.5 inch drill is looking pretty good. And it looks like I'm almost there. So now I'm gonna walk it out. All right, and this took about 4 minutes, 5 minutes to do. All right, and it's not that difficult. Again, put your hand underneath the T-handle. It's the T-handle and a tap, 3/8 24. All right, so I'm gonna come up here, and we talked about that in the other video. Clean this off for the next person. Just clean it right down into this container. All the little foulings that build up inside there. And we have a little shop rag here. We can just clean that off. All right, so it's here for the next person. All right, T-handle, and it goes right into this tray. All right, so wipe up, clean up. There's a shop rag here. Just be sitting here, you can shake it out, and then drape it up over top. We take this, and again, we take a look down inside there, and that's looking pretty good for. We take this, and again, we take a look down inside there, and that's looking pretty good for tapping some holes, putting some threads in there. Okay. And now let's go to blowing that out again. We don't like to go like blow and have it blow straight back into my eyes. But if I go down inside here, blow the base. Blowing it to where I'm looking down inside. I just want to angle it. Okay.